Prague, the capital of Czech Republic, a city with a beautiful history and fairy tale appearance. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos about vacations and city trips. Are you going to this beautiful city soon? And are you curious what to do in Prague? I would like to tell you what you should not miss when visiting this fairy tale city. Visit Old Town Square. Prague's Old Town Square is one of the best preserved city squares in Europe. It is always bustling with locals and tourists alike. The square is surrounded by imposing buildings in different styles. Among other things, you will find a number of churches and statues and large buildings with colorful facades full of details. This Old Town Square was built some 700 years ago, and it, along with the rest of Prague's historic center, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. See Prague's astronomical clock. In Old Town Square, you will also find Prague's astronomical clock. Except for Big Ben in London, this is perhaps the most famous clock in Europe. Every hour, 12 statues of apostles emerge from the clock. Admire the Old City from the Old City Tower. The Old City Tower, on which the astronomical clock is attached, also has a viewing platform at the very top. You can take an elevator up here. From the platform, you have a great view of Prague and the Old Town Square, with its beautiful colored facades. You will also get a good view of the large Gothic tin church, which you cannot see as well from the square itself because of the buildings in front of it. Walk across the famous Charles Bridge. Granted, the Charles Bridge is quite touristy, but still it is actually a must to walk across this famous bridge at least once during your visit to Prague. The Charles Bridge connects the old city center with the Malá Strana district, and the bridge has been characterized by the various statues built on the bridge since 1683. Touching these statues would make you return to Prague someday. Visit the romantic Kampa Island. Kampa Island is located near the Malá Strana district, but it is separated from the mainland by a narrow canal. It is a relatively quiet island, but it is very cozy and atmospheric. Especially on the square Na Kampe, you will find nice cafes and restaurants everywhere. When you walk a little further, you come to a small park full of cozy terraces. From this park, you have a nice view of the river and the old town. Admire the colorful John Lennon Wall. Close to Kampa Island, you will also find the famous John Lennon Wall. Around 1980, several young people in Prague began filling this then white wall with texts and portraits of John Lennon and the Beatles, as a kind of a protest against the communist regime of the time. Although the wall has already been completely repainted once, today it is still a symbol of love and peace. With each visit, the wall will look different, as many artists still come to add their creation to this unique work of art. Discover Prague's Venice and cruise the Vltava River. It is definitely a must to explore Prague from the water as well. One of the most beautiful pieces is the canal between Kampa Island and the Malá Strana. This atmospheric neighborhood is also called the Venice of Prague. A boat trip on the rest of the Moldau is also really worthwhile. On the way, you will see all kinds of highlights such as Charles Bridge and Prague Castle. Walk through Prague Castle and the Palace Gardens. A visit to the Prague Castle is definitely not to be missed. This is the largest enclosed castle area in the world, and it is even listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the largest castle in the world. The castle consists of several palaces, churches, and courtyards, and it is surrounded by beautiful gardens. The front of the castle alone is half a kilometer long, and in total, the castle covers an area of no less than 7.5 hectares. Tip: entrance tickets sell out quickly. Want to be sure of a ticket? Then order them online in advance. Admire the St. Vitus Cathedral. St. Vitus Cathedral is one of the many cathedrals in the city and is a part of Prague Castle. At 99 meters tall, it is not only the largest cathedral in the city, but also the most beautiful as far as I'm concerned. You can now enter the cathedral for free, but if you want to walk all the way around inside, you have to pay an entrance fee of 300 Czech korunas. See the city from the streetcar. Several streetcars run throughout Prague, and it is great fun to take a ride in them. Streetcar 22 runs one of the most beautiful routes. This streetcar takes you through various sites to the top of the Prague castle. Streetcar 12, 14, and 20 also run a nice route from Andel to Barandov. For the best views over the river, take streetcar 17. Enjoy peace and nature on Petrin Hill. When you want to escape the hustle and bustle of the city for a while, Petrin Hill is the perfect place to, as far as I'm concerned. This is one of the largest green areas in the city, and it is full of roses and other colorful flowers. If you don't feel like climbing the 318-meter high hill on foot, you can also catch a train that will take you to the top. Climb Prague's Eiffel Tower for an amazing view. Did you know that Prague has its own Eiffel Tower? A mini replica of this tower was built atop Petrin Hill in 1891. For 100 Czech krunas or 3.7 euros, you can climb the 299 steps of the Petrin Tower. From the top, you have an amazing 360-degree view of the city. If you want to enjoy the view in the evening, keep in mind that in the summer months, you can enter the tower no later than 9:30 p.m. In winter, last entry is at 7:30 p.m. Taste the traditional trdelník. Something you should definitely do in Prague is taste the traditional trdelník or trudlo. To make this sweet treat, strips of dough are rolled over a wooden holder and smoked over the fire. The hot dough is then rolled in sugar, cinnamon, or chocolate, for example. Day trip to Bohemian Switzerland or the Bohemian Paradise. Do you have a little more time in Prague and want to go out of the city for a day? Then it's a good idea to take a day trip to Bohemian Switzerland or the Bohemian Paradise. These natural areas are among the most beautiful regions in Europe and are just a 1 to 2 hour drive from Czech capital. If you have some time, going here is definitely a must. You can choose to rent a car for a day through Sunny Cars, for example. Prague is a beautiful place in the Czech Republic and definitely worth a visit. I hope my tips helped you again for your visit. Will you leave in the comments which city we should feature next? And don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next trip.